Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making very, very easy and inexpensive flower arrangements. I absolutely love flowers and flower arranging. I am by no means a professional, but I don't think you need to be in order to create really, really beautiful arrangements and bouquets for any occasion, like events, even weddings, or if you're like me and just love to have gorgeous flowers around the house pretty much at all times, then this video is for you. I'm just going to talk about some of the basics about flower arranging and a few tips and tricks that I've learned throughout the years. So, all that being said, let's get into the video and I really hope you enjoy it. Okay, so I zoomed you guys in so that I can show you what I'm doing. And I just want to talk quickly about the things you're going to need to do this type of project. I bought a whole bunch of flowers at a place called Produce Junction here in Philadelphia, but another really great place to find gorgeous cut flowers is at Trader Joe's actually. They have really good prices. But if there's no Trader Joe's near you, I would try maybe a wholesale market for flowers. You may have to get an account with them, but it's worth it. It's much more inexpensive than going to a place like Whole Foods or even a florist because their markups are very, very high. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is utensils, and this pair of really, really narrow scissors is actually my favorite, and I bought this at the dollar store. The other thing you might need is one of these, I guess this is more of like an outdoor style trimmer. But I really like it because for things like roses that are a little bit tougher, you can really snip the ends off really, really well with these. You're also going to need a vase of some kind. This is, believe it or not, a storage container from IKEA that I got for $1.99, and it is the perfect size. It's just high enough to really showcase the flowers and so that I can fill enough water in here to make them really, really last. But it's really, really simple and sturdy, and I just really like it, but you can use anything. They have great vases at the dollar store, or even you can find great ones at like yard sales and stuff like that. I just don't think you have to spend a ton of money. Personally, I like to showcase the flowers, so that's why I have just a very, very simple and basic vase. Next, you're going to need some greens, and I think this is where a lot of people tend to lack. You really need a lot of greens for structure for your bouquet and arrangement. I think it is just one of the most understated ways to really showcase your flowers, and I just think it gives its really nice body and volume so that you have a really, really nicely designed bouquet. Next, moving on to flowers, I have 3 different ones. So I have these gorgeous little pink roses, and these 2 flowers, I'm actually not even sure what they are. I just saw them at the store and they were really inexpensive, so I just picked them up. They almost look a little bit like a carnation that maybe hasn't bloomed yet. I've just never seen this before, so I just got 2 of them in 2 different colors. So I got this deeper purple and this pink. And I would say when you're going for flowers, I would definitely get at least 3 different kinds so that your bouquet is very varied and has a lot of variety to it. But I will say, and this is more of a design concept, usually you want to go for something that is that has an odd number of things. So if you're going to do flowers, pick 3 different types of flowers or 5 instead of 4. It just tends to look a lot better, and that's kind of one of the things that I've learned over the years. And again, for structure, I just picked up some of this. I get it doesn't look like baby's breath to me because it's much bigger, but it could be. I'm not entirely sure, but I just thought it was really pretty and it'll add some more structure. Okay, and one other thing that I forgot to mention earlier is you can actually use some Scotch tape to tape across to make a little grid on top of your vase, and that can actually help really when you're doing very, very structured designs and things for weddings, for example, that you really want it to stay and not move around too much. But because I'm not going to be transporting this and I want it to be very, very free form, that's just my style, I'm not going to use this, but this is a really, really good idea. And in fact, I can do a video about this too if that's helpful. Okay, so let's get started. I am going to pull some of my greens, because I like to start with greens. I just think that it helps to give you some really great structure to your bouquet and can help give a base for your flowers to kind of lean against. And that way you're not getting things like flopping over and you're not really able to see what it's gonna look like. And I may trim this down, but for right now, I'm just gonna kind of use it as a base. So once you have more of a base of greens, you can always go back and add some more at the end. I always do. But I like to just kind of get it a little bit structured like this so that when I start adding my flowers, you can kind of see them a little bit better and you can see where they're gonna kind of lay. And so we'll start cutting our flowers now. I'm gonna start with my roses. And what I kind of like to do is sort of measure them against the base. And let's see. That's pretty. And you can like kind of trim these extra greens here, these leaves. Especially on the roses, I just think that they're a little bit stiff and they add a little bit too much body. But that's really pretty, I like that there. And trimming the ends on an angle. And I'm just gonna trim these extra leaves here. Like, see, this one has just a ton of leaves on it, so I'm just gonna trim them. I will sometimes leave some of these upper ones just because I think it looks really pretty. But you wanna make sure that you're, constantly kind of spinning your arrangement around and making sure that it looks good from every angle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn it and then add my second rose. I got used to see you as a friend, but deep inside. Once you have a really nice base of all of the different types of flowers, I like to kind of alternate between the different colors. After I've really established a good base, I'll add one here, add one there of different colors. You're gonna just be on the lookout for little gaps in your arrangement, and that's where you can start adding in a lot more of your greens. And then in my case, I had some, I think it was baby's breath, and I like to call that kind of a filler flower. So if you're seeing kind of a little bit of a gap in your arrangement, that's where you can kind of stick that in and fill up some of that space. And remember, this should be fun, so take your time and just really kind of tap into your creativity. And, just remember that this is just a flower arrangement and will be beautiful on its own no matter what. Okay guys, so here is the final product. I just think it is so beautiful and romantic, and I just love the colors, and I just know it's going to make me so happy every time that I look at it this week. But I did just want to mention, you really do need to switch out your water. I do it every day because I think that it really helps improve the longevity of your arrangement, and so that way your flowers will last a really long time. But I do think this is really, really great for if you're going to be having a DIY style wedding. But I will say, if you're going to do that, I would invest in some of that like plant food that you can put in the water. Mine didn't come with it this time, so I didn't add it. But if you're going to do this for an event and you're going to maybe doing this the night before, I would definitely use the plant, I guess it's flower food or something like that. And it's like a powder, or I guess you can buy it in liquid too, and then you just add it to the water, and it will help to really increase the longevity of your arrangement. So that's it, you guys. I really hope you learned something and you guys will treat yourself to some beautiful flowers whenever you feel like it. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.